Good morning. Today is June 14th. I'm sitting at my desk and I want to show you really what's going to be happening with our new trumpet designs. And I know quite a few of you have followed me for a few years on the concept of creating a trumpet that's really affordable to you guys. And we've been working really hard on that. So I want to show you the latest innovations here at Harrelson. And for me, these are kind of blowing my mind because they're so far beyond what we've done in the past and what was possible. But I'm going to run through some parts, some trumpet parts and trumpet related parts that are made out of new materials, and then show you how you can get your hands on a piece of these same materials and really inspect it and get a feel for what is coming to the trumpet world. So first thing I want to show you is our first one-piece stainless steel tuning slide, and this is laser centered. So you hear me talking about laser centering a lot. That is what it looks like. There's nothing different about this than the brass one, except it's made out of stainless steel and it's all one piece, so there's no seam. It wasn't soldered together. When I polish that, it looks like this. So these are the exact same tuning slide. Now I just have one that's polished, and this will be something you see on the new Summit G4 series, which will come out maybe the end of the summer or this coming fall. We've made back bore wrenches for many years. This is the new back bore wrench, which is also made out of stainless steel. It was optimized to not use too much material, keep the cost down. And here's one of our finger rings. This is the Hex Honeycomb series finger ring. And again, stainless steel. We've made these out of brass before. They were too expensive to offer in brass. And now that they're in steel and they're laser sintered, we might be able to bring the cost down if we can work out the numbers. Some of the braces that I have sitting here are really in the same theme. So these are the honeycomb braces, the third brace. And I know this stuff is really small to see on camera, so I will put some photos in this video so you can see them. And then of course, one of my earlier prototype style braces for the Summit G4 series, which looks like this. And this series brace is a lot lighter than the original. That third brace I just showed you is 2 grams. The original in brass was 9, so we've got a huge reduction in weight. And the same thing is true of this. It's actually offering more surface area coverage, more efficiency, and it's much lighter than the original. And we have another version for the H series, which we don't plan on putting back into production, but I created H series braces to make some prototypes. So my goal is to create the most efficient trumpets that are the lightest weight and the most versatility. And those are kind of the 3 things I always look for. However, the 4th thing that you're always asking for is price. So I've got efficiency and versatility as really the most important pieces of what I'm trying to create. And the weight side of things is something everyone's been asking for, and I've always tried to create that. So those 3 things are my biggest point, my biggest focus. However, you guys have to be able to afford to buy these horns. I can't always sell them for $10,000 or $15,000. And even though there are a lot of people out there that pay those prices, I don't want to be just this elitist company. I've never been that. I really want to offer these to everyone. So I don't know if it's possible, but our goal is to get a horn in your hands for $2,500. That may only be possible if you take me up on my offers that I release this summer. And but $2,500 is an incredible savings. It's an incredible price, especially when you consider I'm looking at these Bach models that are, nothing against Bach, but they're essentially almost the same models they were making in the 50s and 60s, and they're selling for over $4,000 with really no changes at all. So, and Yamaha, of course, is doing the same thing. They'll take that market wherever they can. And $2,500 mark would get some of you into a horn that you otherwise would never get. Now, we will have horns that are higher priced and more expensive always. And the price is always going to be determined by the process, the cost to make it, the development cost, and now the materials. So if you want a trumpet that, and like I said, I don't know if we can offer a $2,500 horn, but I'm trying to get there. But it may be a $3,500 horn that we offer for $2,500 just for the first week, just to get you guys into horns, even if we're not making any profit on that. We may do that. So we did that last October on the original Rumors and Dreams. A lot of you took me up on that offer, and we sold a ton of Rumors and Dreams, and the first week a lot of you got a really nice discount. After that, people paid closer to the regular price, and now of course people normally pay the regular price. So we will be making horns out of nylon, which is something that most people hear and they say, well, they're not even considering that. They think you have to be very skeptical and concerned about ordering something that would be in nylon. However, we've offered nylon parts for years. In fact, our pocket valves, I should have grabbed some, but our pocket valves are made out of nylon. And those things are so strong that in testing, before we released them, I took the actual pocket valve nylon section that's laser sintered, and I beat it with a hammer, a sledgehammer. So a 2-pound sledge, I beat it over 100 times. It didn't make one single dent in the nylon. Now, I'm not saying you can do that to your horn. You can't. But you can do it to your pocket valves. However, we will be releasing nylon as one of the materials for the new Rumors and Dreams. And we will be releasing stainless steel as one of the options for Rumors and Dreams. And depending on which material you choose, the price will go up. But why would you choose either one? And you know, here Jen and I have been discussing this, and Jen's biggest concern is that people will not want nylon or aluminum or stainless steel on their horns. And while I agree that a lot of you will be skeptical and concerned, I also know that most of our fans are people that are really interested in cutting edge technology and techniques, and new materials is part of that. So we have the Momentum spinning top on Kickstarter right now. This is your opportunity to actually hold a piece of nylon and brass combined. Essentially what you're going to find in the new trumpets, if they're nylon, is they will be combined kind of just like this. And the reason I designed the Momentum spinning tops with these new processes is to prove that, one, the accuracy of the prints are very, very tight tolerance, and also to allow you to have something to hold in your hand so you know what to expect if you got a nylon trumpet. And it wouldn't be fully nylon, it'd be mostly brass, but some nylon components that help us bring the costs down. If you did stainless steel, the exact same thing is true, only you'd be looking at stainless steel. So let me show you some other horns, some other options, and you'll see what the future holds for you. You can pick one of these up on Kickstarter only for the next few days, then they're gone, for 30 bucks. I would. And the steel one is only $50. That represents a half price point. So I have quotes to make these out of stainless steel, and the quotes from Proto Labs are, if I order 10 or more, they're $295 each. So we're charging $50. Now you can take that however you want, but you're not going to be able to hold something with this kind of technology for that price probably for 10 or 20 years. And if you could, it's probably only going to come from us because no one else is doing this. So check out our Kickstarter. If you haven't been to Kickstarter, you just register there, you can pledge. You really need to pick one of these up because holding it is going to help you better understand what to expect with the new horns, which will probably launch towards the end of July. And that first week is when you'll have the lowest price point option, which may be $2,500 if I can get there. And if not, it might be a little more. But you're probably going to be purchasing something that's worth twice that value and is using all the latest technology, including topology optimization technology, which is just really cutting edge aerospace software techniques that make the trumpet lighter, easier to play, and more efficient. And I just don't want you guys to miss out on these opportunities, because if I sell them at regular price or I give you a discount, they're going to sell all day long. Either way, I want our fans and our followers and the people that are passionate about all the new technology to get in on these deals. So let's go over and look at the first prototype trumpet that I built, which is a Summit prototype. This is nothing like what they're going to be, but it's a way of me testing using high temperature solders, silver solders, to connect the stainless steel parts to the brass, and it's a prototype I built for myself. This is the very first Summit prototype trumpet using stainless steel laser sintered braces. This trumpet has 4 braces on it. I'm going to talk a little bit about the process of testing all of this. I've been testing stainless steel now for quite a while, and the trick or the challenge is to solder it properly. And the soldering and the flux is really the hardest part of this. The rest of it is actually relatively easy, which can cut down on the cost of assembly and final finishing, and that cuts down on the cost we have to charge you. So this trumpet includes 4 braces. They're the 4 critical braces that are on Harrelson trumpets, which is different than other trumpets. So let's show you those. The first are the 2 top braces. Now these, they may look a little darker than normal, and that's because they haven't been cleaned up. But I have the lead pipe brace, which was a very poor solder joint. And I'll tell you, this one was done 6 times. So it may seem easy to show you these videos and it's like, oh, I just throw horns together. It's a lot of work. It took me 2 days to get this solder joint to work properly. And when I was done, I'm still not happy with it. However, it's my personal prototype. Nobody's really gonna see it or judge me for it except on this video. I'm fine with that. But I had to use over a dozen different configurations, trials of flux and solder to get that to stick, and then it never was correct. It wasn't the way I want it to be. So the solder that's in this joint is not solder I'll put into production. However, the solder and the process on the bell side is exactly what we're going to use. Now that's a silver solder. It's got a high content of silver in it, which is not something you normally find in brass instruments, and it turned out very, very nice. And then we also have the braces on the first and the third slides. So these are optimized and they are much lighter than normal. So the bracing on this horn is less than half the weight of the original brass version. And once I get it all cleaned up, I'll show you more. We'll play it, we'll test it further. I already know what to expect and I'm really excited to show you. Now we're back in my office. I wanted to show you all the components and see if we can get some close-ups of some of these braces. This one is topology optimized using a special structure, and I don't remember which one I had created there, but I'll show you the hex version. That's what it looks like. Now the hex, of course, is very simple. It's just hexagons in 2 axes. So we can do it in 3 axes as well. And that was the third slide screw stop brace, and then this is the one that goes between the first slide and the bell. Again, these are a fraction of the weight of the original style. Here's a third slide brace that I've hollowed out, and then I just left a cylinder in the middle to be tapped by hand. And that one, of course, is 2 grams, whereas they used to be 9. And I'll show you a couple of the back bore wrenches, which you can now purchase. So they are stainless steel, and to have something like this printed can cost upwards of $30 or $40. But we, we're working with a partner, hoping to purchase our own machine, and because of that, we can get better pricing, at least temporarily. And here again is the tuning slide, and again, that one's out of stainless steel. It's exactly the same as the original tuning slide, out of brass. And here's the polished version, which I just hand polished. Now, the last thing I'll say is that the spinning tops, the reason I say, hey, you want to pick one of these up, so you really test the material yourself and feel the quality, and also test the accuracy. The reason I made them a spinning top was simply because if we design it perfectly concentric radially, then there should be the same amount of material all the way around, which would allow this to spin. So let's spin it. Well, it wasn't the best spin, but you can see it spins just fine. Let's see if I can do a better one. This is slippery surface. So the spinning top would not be able to continue spinning, and this one spins for 2 or 3 minutes with my technique, which I think the purists would say is not very good. But the advantage of this laser sintering technology and using these like multi-million-dollar machines is that the amount of material that's deposited all the way around radially is really almost exactly the same. So they are very well balanced, and this is a great way to test that technology. Plus, it's the first ever in history to have a production spinning top or a trumpet go into production, there's the nylon version, and the nylon one actually spins longer. I have other variations because I've tested the software quite a bit. So you'll see the spinning top come back up on Kickstarter numerous times, and that's because the people that are into collecting tops will probably want all of these, and I designed a bunch of different ones. They look really amazing when you're spinning them and the light is hitting them because they start to show a lot of different patterns. Here's one out of titanium, and there's another one that's out of aluminum. This one is out of Inconel, which is extremely hard, and like I said before, these are on Kickstarter. I highly recommend you just go check them out and back them, and I'm only going to have them up there for a few days, so I think they end on Tuesday or Wednesday. So, and always, you guys are welcome to contact me, ask me questions on what's happening, and if you have detailed questions, if you're an engineer or a material scientist or someone who's interested in laser sintering, or you're someone who's interested in laser sintering and that side of things, and you want more information, the Kickstarter campaign is specifically designed for two groups of people. One, trumpet players who want to actually hold some of these materials and know what you're getting into, because some of you are going to own these trumpets in the next few months, and you'll want to know what it's like. I highly encourage you to pick up at least the $30 nylon or the $50 stainless steel versions, because those are the first two we're going to use on trumpets. The other group of people that really would be interested in my campaign on Kickstarter are people who make things, engineers, inventors, small businesses, machine shops, trumpet builders, musical instrument people, like even repair techs, all the way through people that are aspiring builders, fellow builders, other people who are building instruments around the world. If we've met, you may have heard about this already, if we know each other, and if we don't, I'd be happy to meet you and explain these technologies. I'm not going to keep it all to myself, and the campaign is specifically designed to show the updates and show how we put this into production, so you guys know exactly how it's done and you can do it yourselves. Now, that's a completely different way most people would operate a business. Most people say, well, I want to keep all this to myself and not share it with anyone. Well, the thing is, I want this technology to take off, at least in some realms, and I can't create every single product and every single design. You're probably working on your specialized, whatever it is that you make. And for makers out there, you guys could start to incorporate this technology, and this campaign is your opportunity to see how I do it. After having years of experience of printing and designing and using the highest end software there is, I can tell you what it's like. And it's unlikely you're going to spend $30,000 a year just to have one of the pieces of software that are required. And it's unlikely you're going to have a $1 to $2 million machine to do this. So for that reason, I want to help you guys, and if it turns into a partnership where I help you develop your products or design them, I'm happy to help with that too. So check us out on Kickstarter. Thank you for watching. Trumpet people, please tell me what you thought of that horn. Good, bad, unknown, whatever it is. I can't wait to play it for you here in a few days. And if you want to see it in person, we do have an open house this Saturday, it's tomorrow, June 15th. So this video will go out today. We'll have the open house tomorrow from 10 to 3, and I'll let you hold that trumpet and see these parts. All right, see you next time.